Magnus Webb, Journal Log, December 25th, 1991. Christmas Day. I'm writing this from my cabin on my island. It's safe for the moment. A few days ago, I was flying home from this location after a 3-month sabbatical. I had to get away for a while, a long while. Just me on my island, my cabin, and hunting. Just the way I liked it. I even made me some jerky. I was completely cut off from the rest of the world. It was a much-needed vacation. As I enjoyed my flight home, something happened. And if you're reading this, I'm gone. And I'm sure you know what that something was. This is Kilo 768 to Tower, requesting instruction for a runway landing. Repeat. This is Kilo 768 to ATC Tower. I am coming in for landing. Please advise. Over. This is Kilo 768 in the blind. I'm coming in for landing on runway 2. Please advise. Hope all is clear. Over. I wondered what the hell was going on. They should have answered me by now. The weather was good, so there should have been no interference. Something was wrong. I could feel it in my stomach. Before trying to land blind, I decided to check the airwaves.
This is the emergency broadcast system. Stand by for further information.
This invasion continues to ravish our country. The National Guard and other military forces have been immobilized by this threat to our nation. If you have not found a safe zone, please do so immediately. Unfortunately, for now, you are on your own.
This message will be repeated in 10 seconds.
I couldn't believe what I'd just heard. I had to do something, so I decided to head for the CDC. However, I needed to find a safe place to land. I thought maybe I could find an empty street big enough to land on. I had to get as close to the CDC as possible. I finally found a spot by the forest. It was safe. I grabbed some gear, weapons, and my jerky, and I headed out, not really knowing for sure what to expect. It had to be a lot safer to go through the forest, so that's what I did. I was only a little over 5 miles from the CDC. Through the woods, it would be roughly a 2-hour walk. As I walked, I kept thinking, what can one man do in a situation like this? What will I find at the CDC? My mind was racing, imagining all sorts of things. Who are we being invaded by, and why? Thanks to my military training, I found a dead creature. What was this thing? It was small and furry. No legs, no hands. Just eyes and a mouth. How did it get around? Was this an alien invasion? If so, I was more in the dark than before. Regardless, I continued to the CDC. It was my only option. However, I stayed ready for anything. I made it without any problems. The door was unlocked, so I drew my weapon and went in.
Don't shoot! I'm unarmed!
I'm not gonna shoot you.
Okay, that's good news. What are you doing here?
I'm a pilot. My name is Magnus Webb. I came here in my plane. It's 5 miles out.
Well, Mr. Pilot, you are not enough.
I'm here to help.
Help? Did you happen to bring an army with you?
Nope. Just me. I'm ex-military.
The military's been immobilized.
Could you please tell me what the hell is going on?
With what?
This invasion. What else would I be talking about?
How could you not know? Have you been living under a rock or something?
Let's just say yes.
I don't have time for this. I have more work to do.
This guy apparently didn't want to help, so I thought I would give him a reason to. Is that your journal?
Yeah, I write in it every day, especially these days. Now, can you go away, please?
You know, the journal's a good idea. I may start one myself someday, but until then, I was thinking I could go ahead and shoot you and find out what I need to know in there.
Fine. What do you want to know?
Everything. He told me how a mothership with a higher intelligent alien species orbiting over Earth dropped these creatures all over America so they could wipe out as many of us as they could. How all communication to the rest of the world was cut off. A whole divide and conquer type scenario. Most were in the mothership at the moment, but they could be back down soon. He told me everything he knew. The last thing he told me was the best news I had heard since I arrived.
I studied this dead one that I found outside. I found their weakness, so I made a serum that would kill him instantly. I call it Yes 17.
What the hell does that stand for?
It stands for yes. I got it on the 17th try.
That's great. How does it work?
Well, it's a good thing you're a pilot. I connected this timer to it. It's highly explosive. It needs to be taken as high as possible and released. Set it to 5 seconds. Throw it out. When it explodes, it'll spread very fast and hopefully kill every last one of them. Well, at least the ones in Atlanta.
Can you make more?
It'll take a while, but yeah, that's the plan. I already have some in this.
I took the poison and put it in my bag. Pierce gave me his journal so I could learn as much as possible. I told him to take care of himself and make as much of this stuff as he could. Oh, by the way, Lock your doors. I walked right in.
As far as I know, they can't open doors.
Maybe, but someone else could. I headed back to my plane to do what I needed to do. However, it was getting dark. I needed a place to stay for the night. I couldn't take a chance on walking through the forest. For December, it wasn't very cold, so I didn't need to stay in a building. You never know what's in those things anyway. I found an alley. It didn't look very cozy, but I could keep my back to the wall and easily see in all directions. It was as good a place as any, I guess. I started to doze off. Then a noise interrupted my slumber. It was one of the creatures. I drew my gun and pointed it towards him, but I hesitated. He looked scared. I lowered my weapon, but stayed ready, just in case. And then something weird happened. It seemed to me this creature wanted to communicate. We could actually talk to each other through this device. Killing it would have to wait. The creature told me a lot about this invasion. His kind were slaves to the higher intelligence. They were controlled by a noise that brings them pain. But the pink ones were almost extinct. There were maybe 1,000 or so left, and they were all against this genocide. Apparently, they were just playing along, trying to survive. I figured this one would make a great ally. We became friends very quickly. I just realized, you never told me your name. Does your kind even have names? Well, I guess I'll have to name you something so I'll know what to call you. Problem is, I'm not good at that sort of thing. How about Name? That's it. I'll just call you Name. Good night, Name. It was dawn. Time to get to the plane. As we headed for the plane, Name told me about his friends. He told me about his best friend, Yunga. He said they had fought together. Yunga lost one of his eyes during a battle against the creatures. He said they were called Gallings. He even told me his real name. And even though I didn't know what he was saying at the time, I always read it later. I was already used to calling him Name, so that's what I continued to call him. He didn't mind. So, as you know, I was flying home from my island, and that's when I... Holy hell! I'm out! I didn't know you could do that. That shit'll come in handy. Really? A whole day, huh? Okay. Let's get to the plane then. Well, it looks like we're both out of ammo. Don't worry. It'll be alright. You rest up, pal. We continued to walk to the plane. We finally made it. It was time to take the vial as high as possible and get rid of as many of these things as we could. I remember thinking, I hope Pierce wasn't just some nut job. This shit better work. I opened the door to the plane and put back everything that was empty. Everything I didn't need anymore. Hey, don't judge me. It's been a rough couple of days. And I think I stepped in some shit. Alright, let's get out of here, buddy. Hey, what is it? Oh, come on. Not again. Stay back, Name. I got this one. Name. Why would you do that, Name? I was near a field, so that's where I buried him. I didn't know him long, but he was still my friend. He saved my life by giving his own. I'll never forget him. I was so angry. I got in my plane and continued my mission.
Eat this, assholes. It took the entire day for the poison to reach the ground. I watched the Gallings fall one by one. I finally seen enough, so I left. I completed my mission. I headed back to my island so I can rest and use the journal Pierce gave me to write about this experience. People need to know. I won this one, but there is more to do. The war is not over. In fact, the battle has just begun. So as far as I know, I wiped out most of the Gallings in Atlanta, but the mothership remains in orbit. The creatures it sent down are still wreaking havoc across American soil. I need to find help. I plan to put an end to this threat before they wipe us out completely. Thanks to Dr. Pierce, this journal has everything you need to know. If it finds you, use it wisely. Name? Is that you?
That's not your friend. It's your friend's friend.
Pierce?
This is Yunga. He helped me find you by locating your translator.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to help.
Help? Did you happen to bring an army with you?